Hello friend, it's Colrain or Colrain Tarot here on YouTube. My pronouns are they, them. I am an energy healer and tarot artist, and I welcome you to my channel. So today I'm doing a tarot pick a card reading. I have set the intention that this is going to reveal to you something about your mind-body connection and how your soul is currently experiencing a physical and embodied experience as it relates to your life journey and like what you're currently experiencing. So especially 2021, this is the year of the Hierophant. This is a year of awakening to a new cycle. Once you get out of a four, like the way that seasons work, we expand to like a fifth dimension of consciousness in a way. And so again, that's why we're having these conversations in many different places about 5D consciousness, all these different experiences of reality, and our reality is opening up into a different expression of itself. And so our bodies are very important experiences of this, and so I wanted to just explore that with you. If you already know why you're here and you want to start selecting your piles, go ahead, but I'm going to introduce them and hopefully help you to kind of meditate and ground and get into your body so that you can choose a pile that is best suited for you at this time. So pile 1 is going to be this amethyst heart. Pile 2 is this tower. I'm not really sure what it is, but it's beautiful and mossy and almost like mold. But it is wonderful and powerful. And pile 3, again, I don't really know exactly what this is, but this is another heart, and this is, I think of it like a honey stone. That's what I'm going to call it for now. If you're ready, you can go to the timestamps in the description and head to your pile. Otherwise, you can pause the video if you need some more time, but I will see you in your pile. Hello, pile 1. If you selected pile 1 or this amethyst stone, then this is going to be your mind-body connection reading. So, today I'm using the Beyond Lemuria cards. Oracle cards, and then another oracle deck, which is the Sacred Geometry Activations Oracle. So we're not technically doing like a complete tarot reading, but I'm hoping that these decks work together for you well enough in order to display some kind of mind, body, spirit connection so that you can see how your spiritual energy is influencing your physical life and your mental state and like your emotions and all these things. So I want to start laying out the cards. We have 4 for this pile, and these cards work interestingly because the art on the back of them is different for each one. So I want you to get like kind of a good, let me see, I know that you're looking at it from this way, so let me see if I can get you to get a good look at what's going on here. So this one is in reverse, and based on just the visual imagery that's going on right now, I do feel like there's a part of you with all these like swirls and these like big like there's swirls in pretty much all of the cards. There's something in you that you're waking up from, almost like a hypnotic thing. It's like you were tied to something and you're kind of breaking free from it. I'm also feeling like there's some like octopus type of energy here. Octopus are extremely intelligent, so you're waking up to your own like super intelligence in a way. Like I do feel like your body is becoming more intelligent, if that makes sense. So like the body mind is almost like been in school. Like you're learning lessons at a very deep level, again with like all of these codes almost going into this person's mind. It's like a lot of things are harmonizing. Also there are these fish. I do feel like there is an emotional side to you that is becoming a lot more balanced, and with this third eye kind of being highlighted on a couple of them, again, it's like this awareness that is opening to you. And again, this butterfly, it's like this is causing a complete transformation on many different levels for you, and you're starting to really see the effects of these transformations as well. For some of you, there is a message here about maybe greed, or like the actual physical things that you own, or ideas that you have about your physical body. I do feel like some of you, things have recently shifted for you physically, so like your actual physical body, you may have undergone some kind of change, so you're going to have to adapt your lifestyle to that. And your guides are reminding you that nothing is permanent, and that is a gift, not a curse. So to try and remain in a place of gratitude, even if you are struggling at this time, is going to be really beneficial. So let's turn these cards over and see the words that are on them. New blueprints, radical expansion, and our ancient future. So again, these codes coming in, and starseed elemental, that's really, really interesting in terms of like receiving information and drawing information, new information down into the body. And this is actually going to impact your like physical lived experiences, like the habits, the lifestyle choices that you make. Like you guys may be in the next, I'm seeing in the next 6 months, having a total like radical shift in your physical environment. So like you're going to be living a different type of life. So I'm going to read you each one of these cards and then get a little bit deeper into the message. So new blueprints. Powerful, meaningful change starts with you today. Despite our desire for change, we can be overwhelmed by all that is going on, and making a positive impact can seem impossible. We have more of a voice than we realize. This card inspires action, no matter how small, that will create a ripple of light in the world. You are part of a bigger picture, a greater story, and your actions, your choices, your presence are making a difference. You have more power than you realize. Focus on what you can do and do it well. Change takes time, so make plans and start now. Again, like I said, you guys are literally going to be living in a new paradigm. I didn't say it exactly like that, but that is like the words that are coming through now. Again, with the physical thing that I mentioned a little bit earlier, like letting go of physical objects that don't serve this new lifestyle. So like, for example, if you're trying to go live more, I feel like for a lot of you, this is returning to a more ancient way of being, or like connecting in with the earth, and like seeing your own physical health and these kind of things. Like let go of those physical items that have to do with an old paradigm of yourself. So this can be like clothing, this can be tools that you have, so like different medical tools, books, contacts, like people in your life, like just going through like your phone, like technology type things, and getting rid of old like data. So this is a release. Again, I'm going to read this radical expansion. It is time for radical ways of being and thinking, and you can start by granting yourself the freedom and creativity to be you. Unleash your inner rainbow dragon and unapologetically claim your heart-based empowerment and radiantly unconventional gifts. You can be as big as your energy wants to be. Let go of limiting stories and take up all the space you need. Again, I'm going to read that again. Let go of limiting stories and take up all the space you need. Have fun unleashing who you are. As bold and radical as your ideas or offerings might be, they could be just what the world was waiting for and what the world wants. Be the masterpiece your soul always wanted you to be. And then here, our ancient future. An ancient remembering is emerging. Seed crystals and the knowledge that they are imbued with are becoming unearthed. Those who see a better future are not just dreaming. Their hearts and minds are hearkening to the core of earth-based traditions to bring through knowledge that will help shift this paradigm into balance. You have two things about shifting paradigms. This card is imbued with activations, and you are being showered with blessings in preparation for a transformation. It may be turbulent at times, but you will grow and heal through the coming journey. You can navigate a situation you have no experience with by being truly present. Integrity and intuition will guide you. These are, if you haven't already, do a past life meditation. Connect in with these like experiences of life that are completely it's almost like they're inaccessible to you right now, but like you do have access to them, you just haven't consciously accessed them. So you have like past lifetimes that are really being what are they called, anchored into your current reality. Starseed elemental. Sometimes adulting can become too serious. When this happens, adding curiosity, fun, laughter, and a light-hearted sense of play to our perspective can be the most effective way to rebalance. Facing challenging circumstances with inquisitiveness can bring joy to whatever we are accomplishing. Imagine stepping into a child's shoes and seeing how they perceive the world. If you have a problem, consider how a child might solve it. Humans are evolving, and children can be our wisest teachers. May we nourish their big souls, listen to them with our hearts, and let their ways unveil fresh new eyes so we may see a whole new world. For some of you, this is also working with children. And connecting in with your own inner child too. I feel like your inner child was much more connected with this ancient wisdom or these past lives as well, and it's something that you've been like programmed out of. So you're stepping out of those programs with these new paradigms. I'm flipping these back over so you can admire the art, because I feel like sometimes images do connect more with that subconscious. So I want to look at the final 3 cards here for you. We have the throat chakra, so about communicating, about expression, about being able to stand up for yourself. I do feel like a lot of you are going to have people who push back on you and kind of, the word is coming through as resentment, but I don't really feel like it's resentment. I feel like it's more like when you shift your vibration, it makes them uncomfortable, because they also have to reflect and see how their vibration is not exactly lining up with like their morals or their beliefs. It's like other people around you who have maybe stagnated are going to be frustrated by seeing that you are so free-flowing, that your free spirit is really coming through. Delight. This is supposed to be a delightful experience. It's supposed to be something that you evoke complete bliss and joy in other people, that you bring out your own bliss and joy. So like your inner child is really going to be heightened at this time. In order for you to be resilient going through such a big shift in your life. And then realization. The frequency of realization supports the internal process of becoming aware of our heart-centered truth, as well as the external process of becoming our highest expression in this world. Every action, everything that manifests from you, every spoken piece of verbalized spiritual matter is going to come from your heart. You are really stepping into your soul, like in the mission of your lifetime, in the next 6 months. And I am feeling very, very like electrified as I'm saying this. So this is something that like is on a deep level, like a complete expression of who you're meant to be in this lifetime. The realization of that, I feel like this is like literally like you're gonna wake up one day or look at like a week ago and be like, holy yikes, time has not been moving the same way as it used to for me. Like you're gonna have change, like rapid fire change, where you are like moving from consciousness form to consciousness form, day after day. It's like turning over a new leaf constantly. It's like writing in a new chapter. And I don't know, like the way that time works, I feel like things are going to be really packed in and you're going to shift pretty quickly. I do feel like a lot of you are stepping into like career-wise, like your actual physical body, the way that your actions manifest is really important in this group, because like it's physical changes where your body is a vessel for your spiritual energy that is seeking to see a new world, to see a new paradigm. So these are going to be very physical manifestations of you speaking your truth, and also speaking up for those that don't have as much of a voice, or those who have been misunderstood or misinterpreted in the past. So this is a really beautiful pile one, and I hope that I'm having one message come through before I close this reading out, that because you chose this amethyst stone, and there's a lot of purple going on, for a lot of you, because your crown chakra is receiving a lot of information, and your throat chakra is also being upgraded right now, in terms of how you express yourself, it's going to be really important for you to do some grounding, to spend more time in nature, and to ask nature to kind of teach you, like, observe the ways that nature moves naturally. That's a funny sentence, but the way that the actual, like, physical manifestations of nature have, like, metaphorical traits within them. So, like, observing those and seeing how those relate to you as a consciousness form of the earth. So that's also coming here to this ancient wisdom that you have going on. So allow yourself to receive these realizations, but allow yourself to also remain grounded. So don't get too, like, out there or disconnected from your body and the truth that your body holds. So it was lovely to read for you today, Pile 1. I pray that you find abundance, love, and gratitude for your experience at this time. I will see you in another video, and bye. Hello, Pile 2. If you selected Pile 2 or this crystal, then this is going to be your reading on your mind, body, consciousness, what's happening for you in terms of many different dimensions of yourself, and how it's, like, physically manifesting for you at this time. So I have 2 oracle decks that I'm using today. One is the Beyond Lemuria oracle cards, and the other is the Sacred Geometry Activations oracle. So I want to start with the Sacred Geometry Activations for you. And I'm going to flip these over, and these are going to describe to me what is happening, like, spiritually. So how these metaphysical, like, energies are currently manifesting into the physical world for you. So, but what's happening more on, like, an extrasensory level for you. So we have the Divine Feminine and Transition. Now, these cards both have these warmer tones to them, these purple, like this purple tone, and then this more pink tone. I am feeling like this is connecting both to the root, but then the crown. So they're almost like polarities. I do feel like there's something in you that's almost battling itself. I'm hearing, like, peace and war. So it's like you're swinging pretty clearly back and forth between something that is very harshly on one side and then very harshly on the other side. So they're, like, very divided. And it's not that you're intentionally trying to experience division in your life, but there is something that is keeping you divided within your own self. And for each of you, it's going to be very different. But what's like, bridging energy for both of these is the Divine Feminine, which is, it says here, supports our receptive, nurturing, and soft side, allowing it to express itself openly and helping us to connect to our intrinsic understanding of our connection to all of creation. So this is allowing you, this is an ego death on some level, and that's why there's this division for you, because on one hand you've been defining yourself a certain way for so long, and subscribing to certain narratives that you've given yourself about yourself, which I feel like sometimes you internalize and it almost becomes, like, petty. But on the other hand, you're in this transition period as well, where you're allowing these things to shed, and you're really contrasting these things that don't seem to align with each other, but you are being able to see how, when you bring these different things together, again with that bridging energy, when you almost like a Venn diagram I'm seeing, like, when you overlay these things across each other, you're able to see how one of them supports, like, not that one of them is only supportive, but, like, how they support each other, but also how they oppose and refine each other. So there is a refinement that's happening here. In my mind's eye, I'm seeing the Justice card as well for you. The Justice card is bringing things into balance, weighing out these options, connected to I see it as connected to Cancer. Cancer being this very emotional energy, this energy where sometimes we can be again, like I said before, that petty energy, or being very like vengeful, acting like from this psychic place, but not for the betterment of others, but for like a more manipulative side. And then the other side of Cancer is this very receptive, compassionate, more aligned with like goodness. So it's almost like you coming to terms with your own, like you're really integrating a part of your shadow self at this time, and so you're feeling it in the body. And I do feel like a lot of you are very tired, heavy. The chest feels heavy. Chest also again connected to Cancer in the body. So this is like your heart chakra releasing. For a lot of you, I would do work with the heart chakra. So I have 3 more cards. Oh, do you see that color pattern? These are from the Beyond Lemuria Oracle deck. And these are, again, with this green, heart chakra. We're also seeing blue for the throat chakra, and I'm not going to read these in reverse, so I'm turning this one around. And this one is just like all blue. There's like codes and stuff on this, the pyramid. So this is really, I do think, channeling in, like you're calling in a certain part of your soul, which is being embodied into yourself. Whether you are feminine identifying or not, there is an upgrade to this energy within you that is more receptive, because the feminine can be talking about receiving, or like something that is very internal. I also see the feminine as being a very inner voice that is within, like, whereas the masculine manifestations would be actions that we take, the feminine is like that inside, before it manifests kind of impulse. So based on these, again with this butterfly too and the Merkaba, there is something that is upgrading for you spiritually and opening the crown chakra to receive information that maybe you weren't ready for in the past. I do feel like some of you have gone through something and you're going to be like, why couldn't I have done this the entire time? Don't get frustrated with yourself. You weren't ready. You needed to go through the things that you went through at the time in order to be at this place of receptivity at this point in time. So let's flip these over so we can see the words on them. Throat chakra, express your truth. What was I saying? Ooh, and I didn't flip this one over. And then another chakra. Ha ha ha. Okay, I love when things line up like that. Sorry. So throat chakra, express your truth. This chakra is the origin of expression. It is the source of life. It is the source of the life spark that inspires your aliveness and strokes the creative fires in others. This is the outer sharing of your inner being, the glowing song of your soul on the winds of your flight to understanding more of who you are. Connect to the crux of your potential and take it further than you could have imagined. As spirit fuses into the tangible, it actualizes as a platform for greater experience, and new facets are sculpted, seeded, and shared as a fractal of light in the form of your own unique language. Yes, I feel like a lot of you are living by example, but more in terms of your identity. It's the things that you're identifying with. So this is identifying more, like embracing parts of yourself that you have been afraid to share, or you've been afraid to like actually express. For a lot of you, I do feel like these are more like physical changes. So like some of you are getting tattoos or piercings, like body modifications. You're cutting your hair, changing the way you do your makeup, you dress yourself. There's something that is shifting in self-expression. So that's how it's like physically manifesting. But I also feel like a lot of you, this is like possibly changing your taste in music as well, or something that's more of like that sound kind of a thing. So like the vibration that you are actually like physically surrounding yourself with. She of the Lotus, if there is a way to fast track growth, it is by being real with the shadowy or unloved parts of ourselves. I was literally saying this. Shadows can be painful or tender to the touch. Sensitivity can be a trigger that shows us where we might want to spring clean some of our darker, forgotten, ignored, or hidden corners. Accepting our shadows is the first stage in restoring ourselves to wholeness and self-love. Peel back the layers where there is shame, guilt, or fear, and bring them into the daylight. Under a loving and compassionate light, they will resolve and reassimilate, reminding us that on the flip side of the coin, these are our superpowers. You are definitely awakening. Like, there is a big shift that has already occurred. You've already awakened on some level, but right now this is the integration. This is the coagulation. If you have never looked into alchemy of the self, I would recommend looking into the alchemy of the self, because I do feel like you are at the point where you're recognizing certain things stagnating and being able to push them beyond where they were before. So you are recognizing this stagnation and then shifting. For some of you, this is also some kind of like kundalini type thing, or just this snake. Snake is a symbol of wisdom, of healing, this different kinds of things. And I am feeling like this is part of a dark night of the soul for some of you, or that experience of the dark night of the soul that feels very painful. So be sensitive with yourself at this time, and know that you're receiving and expressing in a different way than you have been before. And so when we're in these periods where things are very up in the air, especially in terms of like how your soul is manifesting into your body, it can feel very uncomfortable, because it's like putting on a different, I don't know, for some reason I'm thinking new suit, but like you have to break it in, like, or a new pair of shoes, you have to break them in, and so sometimes you get blisters as you're breaking them in, but it doesn't mean that they're not meant for you. So I feel like some of you have been questioning your alignment, but this is a confirmation for you that you are exactly where you need to be. Third eye chakra, pineal perspective. Connect with your third eye and transcend what you understand with your mind. Discover a deeper inner knowing through the interconnected web of all this is and has been. You can tune into the wisdom at will, as and when you wish to. This wisdom is ancient yet pioneering. It is the creator of the free will we choose to weave from moment to moment. Be the observant witness. Allow the transcendence of duality, without judgment. Be mindful, listen, and allow your unfurling intuition to unravel the paradoxes of reality. So, a lot of you are starting to get out of a black and white thinking. You're pushing beyond experiences where you feel like hard on yourself, or you are like trying to it's like unlabeling experiences. You're getting out of the idea of like you have to label everything as good or bad. You're starting to recognize that everything maybe is more of like serving purpose, or like experiences, learning. So this is again a shift in awareness. So as you shift your awareness, you can express differently. So I'm gonna flip these back over just so that you can see the art on the cards, because I do feel like this visual imagery sometimes shows us something that words don't, but I like to pair them both together. So I would, if I was you, I would do some work specifically with the third eye and with the throat. So even if this is just color magic, so like connecting to the color blue, the color indigo, seeing how these play out in your life, and also doing like a sound bowl meditation or sound meditation on some level, because the third eye does receive sound and visual imagery. So those two sensory experiences are also really important at this time for you. Otherwise, I want to thank your guides, my guides, and every other force in the universe that brought us together for this video today. And I will see you in another video, friend. Bye. Hello, Pile 3. If you selected Pile 3, or this honey heart, I guess that's what I'll call it, this is going to be your mind-body connection reading. So I want to start with these Beyond Lemuria cards, just to get an idea of kind of what is occurring for you in terms of like the mind, and how you're consciously and subconsciously thinking about what is happening for you in your life. So I'm going to lay out, you guys got quite a few of these oracle cards. Okay, so with this eye on the throat, that's the first thing that I'm seeing, and then the hands holding the Merkaba. This is you actually using information that you've constantly, I guess it's constant, but it's consciously transmuted. So you've seen your own power. I do feel like a lot of you have recognized your uniqueness as well, and awoken yourself to the way that your words manifest your reality. When you speak, when you even just attach words to concepts in your own mind, they do manifest. So this is about manifestation, and you're awakening to your own ability to manifest anything that you want and consciously create your reality. There is also a connection here with all these animals, and this like dark red color, connection to the earth, connection to the natural world, and how the natural world nourishes you and nourishes your body. You've been consciously trying to ground yourself as well. Like, look at, there's literally skulls. Like, you are seeing how death is a part of life, and death and life are not mutually exclusive. They must be interconnected in order to experience anything. And I also feel like a lot of you are connecting with the sun specifically, or this like very vital life force energy. You're very connected with source energy at this time in your life, and you're seeing how every single energy system that is connected to your physical body, this is like so powerful. Like, I don't even know how to put this into words. All of them are just like this dragon. They connect to one another, and they are interrelated. So when, like, for example, you go to the grocery store and buy your food and make your dinner, it's also connecting you to, like, when you're listening to your music and making these other choices. Like, it's seemingly unrelated events or unrelated experiences all starting to blur together, and one moment is not in a vacuum. Each moment gives you pieces, gives you clues, gives you insights into the next one. These crystals here as well are making me think of like crystalline consciousness being in the body, and this is waking up to the idea that your body does store consciousness forms. So for some of you, this is going to be that you really do need to cleanse certain things out of your aura, or be very much more intentional about making a cleansing of your aura ritual that you participate in pretty consistently. So I want to flip these over to see more of like what these are trying to say in like a more concrete form. So gracious receptivity. If there were a manual for optimal human experience, one of the most potent points would be gratitude. It is the backbone of all spiritual practice. When we shift our perspective from what we are lacking, needing, and desiring, we temporarily replace the survival factor within the resonance for thriving. Giving and receptivity is a two-way flow. Each allows space for the other. Gratitude, self-love, and self-worth are interwoven with the capacity to receive. Together they nourish our soul, or your soul, Step into your heart space by listing all you are grateful for, and notice how full you start to feel. From here, your giving capacity can spiral upward. So yes, this is taking your gratitude, taking the things that you already have, taking the ways that the earth, that source, that spirit has given you so many gifts, and just basking in the beauty of that. Again, when I was first talking about this card, I was talking about your uniqueness, the things that make you so beautifully abundant, and then recognizing that and being able to express it more fully. So in that expression, you have to return to where you've come from and recognize that with the gratitude. So let's look at this card. Furred and feathered friends, animals are intuitive, sacred beings and the wisdom keepers of many earth traditions. They are some of our most loving companions and have much to teach us. Yet the treatment of some species is appalling. As our empathy expands, we see other beings and the quality of their lives as interconnected and equal to our own. We may be inspired to align our actions with our compassion, to minimize the harm we do to the planet and her inhabitants. This card also signifies energetic bonds. You may have a greater awareness of the wisdom of the animals you encounter and their meaning for you. So some of you, I'm hearing this is a diet change. So like you may be trying to have like a vegetarian or vegan lifestyle, or just seeing how the ways that consumption influences other life forms that are around you. And also I'm being reminded of something my teacher said recently in a class that I was taking, where she said we need to learn the language of the earth, and this is something that you're learning how animals carry symbols, messages. They're basically a part of the consciousness of the earth, and so you're going to start doing some divination that does have to do with like animals, or animals are going to be really important in terms of your own personal divination. And then also for a few of you, this may not resonate with everyone, you may be getting a new like familiar, so a new animal friend, or like a plant, something that is going to come into your reality and affect the way that your physical body is experiencing life. So let's look at this card. Full spectrum. What was I saying? Again, all this interconnection. You're very much seeing yourself as a part of an ecosystem. This is like your ego has died like a while ago, but you're just starting to like understand how like you can take these steps in the physical world in order to connect more with that like non-egoic self. So step out of the black and white mentality of good and bad. Honor the full spectrum of life and see through fresh eyes. When we judge something, we create a story around it, and often these stories are limiting. Over a lifetime, we subconsciously gather so many of these stories, create a space of no story for miraculous healing and crystallizing new paths. Also, what did I say about crystallizing? This space empowers us to know our truth and be all we are. Embrace creation in all her colors, including the raw, muddy, earthbound shadow parts of a situation, to determine whether your stories are limiting your perspective. Let the compost of the challenges you have overcome feed new shoots and blossoms. So again, there is something about understanding, like I said before, that life and death are interrelated. You can't pull them apart from each other. And recognizing, I feel like there are some situations in your life right now that you're still holding on to old beliefs and old patterns that at one time served you to explain an experience that you had, but now you're just feeding this narrative and feeding these, again, what this card is saying, black and white perspectives of how it influenced you. And so it's like almost holding you back from being able to be an expression of yourself that is more interconnected. It's not blaming or seeing anything like even feeling like you have to label it as good or bad. Maybe it's just seeing, okay, what did I gain from this? How did my life change? And just accepting it completely. I feel like part of this is acceptance. So let's read this. Vulnerability. When we are truly honest with ourselves in all our facets, we are vulnerable. That honesty is an important step in discovering our shadows and bringing them into the light for healing. When we share our vulnerabilities with others, we allow them to glimpse a deeper part of ourselves. Be vulnerable with yourself and others. It may be time to step into the role of healer and hold space. Holding space means being fully present without judgment in a way that provides a safe and nurturing environment. Here, guards are dropped, a deeper level of awareness and relating can unfold, and profound healing takes place. You are being vulnerable, I feel like, with more people in your life, but also with yourself. There's something about, like, because you're recognizing impermanence, you're being a lot more mindful. I feel like a lot of you meditate really often. You definitely are more connected into the root chakra in your life, and so the root chakra as an energy center in the body is a place where we like release waste, or we connect to like our safety and our routines. And so you being down into this energy system right now, is allowing for you to not only see the impermanence, because with routine it's trying to develop some kind of certainty. You're recognizing that in your uncertainty there is certainty. Like it seems to be a paradox, but you're really starting to balance these things, like metaphysical concepts with philosophy, with an actual like grounded and like mundane understanding of reality. So, and this is like healing you as an inner child as well. I feel like this is like taking your experiences that could potentially be like harmful, or not harmful, but like just challenging, and you're totally transforming. I'm seeing this as like moth energy. Moths may be one of those like languages of the universe that are used right now, and snakes. I'm being called to this little snake. So, okay, interesting. More earth energy. Synergy. So again, back to that interrelatedness, interconnection. The frequency of synergy supports our allowance and acceptance, again, what was I saying, of not so obvious, never seen before combinations and unions that result in new ways of functioning, working, thinking, relating, loving, and being. It reminds us to embrace the unfamiliar so that new yet exciting co-creations can give birth to a new reality. I do feel like you have quantum shift recently, or quantum shifted, excuse me. So like you have quite literally hopped onto a new timeline. You have moved over and so something is different. You are seeing your ability to choose and create more consciously, like I was saying at the beginning of your reading. And then Gaia, the frequency of Gaia reminds us that we are infinitely connected to one another, just as we are to our great mother and to the universe that birthed us all. So yeah, definitely an egoic death in some form. And it's not like a death really, it's just more of like you recognizing your own power and really being able to manifest your spiritual self into a balanced like physical form. And then actually be able to like live out these things without programs, without these like dualities that are so limiting, or these beliefs that come from limiting realities. You are unlimited at this point now, pile 3. I hope that this resonated. I want to thank your guides, my guides, every other force in the universe that has come together to facilitate this reading and to deliver this message from me to you. I will see you in another video, and I'm praying that you find so much abundance and so much love in the days to come. I'll see you soon. Bye, pile 3.